Overnight, hundreds of protesters were out here trying to get back into Cal Anderson Park and near the East Precinct, where police do have control again. In some areas, police are acting as a barrier. In other areas around the perimeter, yellow tape stands between protesters and areas now off limits. So overnight, protesters tried to cross the barrier, knowing that if they did, they would be arrested. More than 24 protesters were arrested near Broadway and Pine for refusing to leave or assault or obstructing. So those who threw bottles at police were met with pepper spray and blast balls, but still demonstrators are refusing to give up. There were several times overnight where protesters were trying to breach the perimeter, and that is when police did slowly back up, and that is a new tactic they are using to create distance between themselves and protesters. From Capitol Hill, I'm Kiara Alfallen, King 5 News.